Good morning, wonderful people. Welcome to the Gapapathi Sahasranama explanation and exposition series, if I may call it that. Okay, so we are in the 91st verse. Let's get right into it. Sthanu sthanu priyasthata sthavaram jangamam jagat Daksha yagna pramathano data danam damodaya. Beautiful. The immovable one, the one who is fond of the immovable. Sthata is the support, one who is the support. Sthavaram, the one who is stationary. Jangamam, the one who is moving. Jagat, the world. Daksha yagno pramathano data dhanam damodaya. The destroyer of the sacrifice of Daksha. Now you got to see the mythology of Ganapathi to understand that. So I'll just leave it at that. Data, the giver. The one who is the giver. Dhanam, the act of giving. Charity. Something that is lacking very badly in our so-called civilization right now, isn't it? We don't like to give stuff. We just like to take stuff from nature, from everywhere for ourselves. If there is one thing I might suggest which is responsible for the decline in human value system everywhere in the world, every society, every country, nation, family, etc., it would be that one factor of selfishness, just wanting everything for myself, not caring about the earth, not caring about the other person, not caring about other beings that live with us on the earth. And I shall leave it at that. Dhanam, the act of giving, please learn to give. Damodaya, the self-control. Damaha means self-control. Daya is compassion. Another one thing that is lacking, compassion for the person next to you, for the person working for you, maybe in your office, in your business, maybe in your family, maybe in your spouse, in your kids, in your friends, in the greater society that we live in. Yeah, got to think about all these things, folks. Ganapathi is in you and me. It's watching every stuff that we do. We need to get our act together in this shift. 92. Dayavan divya vibhavo dandavrit dandanayakaha danda prabhinna brahmalo daityavaranadaranaha. Okay. Now this is both combined in one, so it's a powerful line. All are actually. Dayavan, the one who is compassionate. This Ganapathi and all Devic Shaktis are always compassionate by nature. They are the protectors. They get rid of the bad stuff from our lives so that we can focus on the good stuff. Oneness is about everything, all inclusion. Divya Vibhavo, having a divine splendor. Dandabrat, the wielder of punishment. Danda means punishment. Dandanayaka, the leader of justice. He's the basic judge, you might call it, to see what is happening right and what is happening wrong. Why? Well, from the divinity perspective, from the oneness perspective, the Devic Shaktis can perceive a larger picture of what's going on from the soul perspective. The human mind, on the other hand, tends to judge in a very limited fashion. When you talk of justice from the human perspective or from divine perspective, there's a huge difference, right? The human perspective, astrological speaking, since this is an astrology channel, the human perspective is limited. Doesn't matter which way you cut this. Doesn't matter what you think is right or wrong thing to do. You're just one ascendant, one type of planetary position, one kind of Rahu Ketu, one kind of everything. So you are limited by your very birth, by your very mind. It is not possible for you and I, doesn't matter who we are, to sit in judgment of anything. The divine, on the other hand, has an overview, has a larger perspective from the soul level. Okay, that's why it is the leader of justice. Ganapathi is the leader of justice. Danta Prabhinna Brahmalo Daityavarana Taranaha, whose garland is made up of scattered tusks, the destroyer of the protectors of demons. Now, this is another thing that is getting cleaned up in the shift, so you and I don't have to worry about it. The shift, Akashic shift of earth, and I've spoken of this in other playlist. If you want to have a look at the shift perspective, what is shifting on the earth from an energetic plane, it's huge. You might need to go through that for that. Okay, so this is being cleaned right now. 93. Damshra Lagnapati Dvipapati Devarthan Gajakritihi Dhanam Dhanapati Bandhur Dhanado Dhanadi Dharaha. Okay, little coffee needs to kick in there. With teeth like a burning island, having the form of an elephant for the sake of gods. Dhanam is wealth, the one we all run after, right? The stock market, the Bitcoin. Dhanapati. Pati means the lord of in this context. Okay, Dhanapati is the lord of wealth, Kubera. Bandhu, relative, a friend, one who is a friend. Ganpati is your friend. There's nothing to be afraid of when you are tuning into the divine. Dhanaha, giver of wealth. Dhanadaha, okay. Dharanidharaha, Dharanidharaha, okay. The upholder and supporter of earth. Once again reminds me of the vision I had of the Ganpati's feet stepping onto the earth, and the entire earth shook like an earthquake. Dhyanaika prakato dhyeyo dhyanam dhyanaparayanaha dhvani prakriti chitkaro brahmanda valimekalaha. Revealed in deep meditation. I spoke of this in the earlier ones also. Devic Shakti, as perceived by the yogis, is all revealed. The entire mantra and the entire rupa, the form and the function and the sound, has been revealed, all of this, to the ancient rishis and yogis in deep meditation. It says right there, revealed in deep meditation. He is the object of meditation. He is meditation himself. With the mind running around like a mad monkey, like Swami Vivekananda describes mind. Somebody asked him to describe the mind. He describes it as imagine a monkey. It's restless by itself, constantly. Have you looked at a monkey? It's constantly looking around restlessly, all around the place, right? Now imagine that monkey bitten by a scorpion. He's comparing it to scorpion to desire. Obsessions and compulsive desires. Rahu and Ketu, for example. And now imagine the bitten monkey, also drunk with more desires. Not obsession, compulsion, desires. Who can predict the next step of that monkey? A monkey default is restlessness, bitten by a scorpion, and drunk as in drunk with booze, for example. Human mind, Swami Vivekananda compares to that. So Ganpati can help you in that meditation. Dhyana Parayanaha, devoted to meditation. Creating sounds of various types, wearing a garland of the universe. That's very vast, isn't it? You tune into these divine Shaktis and you automatically expand your consciousness. Nandyo Nandi Priyo Nado Nada Madhya Pratishtita Nishkalo Nirmalo Nityo Nitya Nityo Niramayaha. Wow. Okay, so the one who's delightful, Nandyo, Nandi Priyo, fond of joy. That's why Ganpati is celebrated with a lot of delight and pomp and celebration in India. Nado. Nada means sound. Nada Madhya Pratishtitaha, established in the middle of sound. Now that's a mystery. I shall leave it to all you people who are interested in mantras and recitation of mantras. I, for one, am a big fan. That's why I'm bringing all the Sahasranamas. Nishkalo, Nirmalo, Nityo, Nitya, Nityo, Niramayaha. Without parts, the one who is pure, the one who is eternal, the one who is eternal amidst the temporary. What are they referring to the temporary? Everything that you see around you. Your body, your breath, your everything that you see in earth, whatever you open your eyes and look at, it's temporary. Whatever you're dreaming is temporary. Nirmayaha, free from ailments. 96. Param Vyoma, Param Dhama, Paramatma, Param Padam. Parat Parat Pashupati, Pashupasha Vimochanaha. Okay. Param is eternal, supreme. Vyoma is sky. He is Vyomanabhi also in the previous one, as you saw. The belly is, his belly is of sky. Vyomanabhi, navel. Param, supreme. Dhama is abode. So the one who has got supreme abode in the sky, space, one who is the supreme soul, Paramatma, the one who is state abode, Padam. Pada means actually foot. We call that Pada also in astrology, right? Dharma Pada, Artha Pada, Kama Pada and Moksha Pada. There are 4 steps that the planets and points themselves take. And Ganapathi is in a very big way involved in the astrology. We shall see that towards this series. You shall see it. Just follow this Sahasranama, you will see it. Beyond the supreme, Parat Para. Para means supreme. Parat Para is beyond the supreme of the supreme. Pashupati, the lord of creatures, is Lord Shiva. It comes in Rudra Prashna. We shall see that later. Pashupatinath. The temple of Pashupatinath is also there in India. Pashupasha Vimochana, liberator from the worldly desires, worldly existence. 97. Purananda Parananda Purana Purushottamaha Padma Prasanna Vadano Pranata Jnanana Shanaha. Okay. Purananda. Ananda is bliss. Purnananda, one is full of bliss. Parananda, supreme bliss. Parananda, Ananda is bliss. Para means anything is beyond, not of this plane. Para. Para Shakti means the Shakti which is not of this plane. We have embodied Shakti, which are all the feminine embodied beings here on earth. Para Shakti is the one who is beyond. Okay? That's the Sanskrit way of addressing it. Purnananda Purushottama, the ancient and the supreme person. Padma Prasanna Vadanadana. Okay, one with serene lotus-like face. Padma means lotus. The destroyer of ignorance of those who bow down. Prajnana Pranatarjnana Nashana. Nashana means destroyer. Jnana is knowledge. Ajnana is ignorance. Okay, so the one who is destroyer of Ajnana or ignorance. 98. Pranamatma Prayatita Pranatarti Nivaranaha Phanihasta Phanipati Bhutkara Phanita Priyaha. Alright. Transcending the limits of perception and cognition. We have only very limited cognition with the 3D eyes, right? The yogic vision is something completely different. Ask Sadhguru if you want to see about yogic vision. He's seen something else. The mystics have seen something else that we are not able to perceive. Pranatarti Nivarana, the one remover of distress for those who bow down. What's the significance, you might ask, of bowing down? What are you bowing down to? The bigger aspect of you. You are part of the divine. Every soul is part of the divine. Ganapathi is part of you. You are part of Ganapathi. You are just expanding your consciousness to the bigger form of you, which can see beyond our limited 3D perceptions of things. Okay? So the yogic people have saying this, everything is in you. You just got to tune in. Panihasta, one with serpent in hand, the lord of serpents. Again, the serpent and the Kundalini indication right there. The one who produces a hissing sound, Bhutkara, Panita Priya, one who is fond of serpents. Ganapathi is the first son, the Jeshta Putra of Rudra himself. Shiva, one who has got serpent tied around his neck, right? The Nagas, the lord of the Nagas. The entire Shiva family has a great significance and relationship with serpent and Kundalini. You take the entire Shiva family, Shiva, Parvati, Kartikeya and Ganapathi. Kartikeya is the second son, the younger brother of Ganapathi. 99. Banarchicha Griyalogo Balakeli Kutuhali Brahma Brahmarchitapado Brahmachari Brihaspati. The first one is a little tricky for me to pronounce. The one whose feet are worshipped by arrows, referring to Lord Vishnu. Balakeli Kutuhali, engaged in playful activities like a child. Ganapathi has tuned into Ganapathi and it came to me as the innocence of a child. And I've said this in the earlier Sahasranama series also. It's a childlike innocence. This is the power of childlike innocence. Ganapathi loves children. He's a protector of children. Brahma, the ultimate reality, the absolute. Brahmachari, Brahma Chitapado. Brahma Chitapado. Chita means to tune in consciousness. One whose feet is worshipped by Brahma, referring to Lord Vishnu. Brahmachari, one who observes the paths of celibacy. Ganapathi isn't married among all the gods and goddesses pantheon of Vedic tradition. Ganapathi is still a bachelor, right? That's why he is a Brahmachari. He is a celibate. Brihaspati, another name for planet Jupiter associated with wisdom and knowledge. There you go. Vedic astrologists, there you go. Vedic astrology at its best. Brihattamo Brahmaparo Brahmanyo Brahmavit Priyaha. Brihannada Grachitkaro Brahmandavani Mekhalaha. The greatest, the supreme. The one who is devoted to Brahman, the one who is transcending Brahman. Brahman here is not the silly invented caste system or whatever nonsense other people are talking about India. Brahman here refers to the ultimate reality, the light that you are, the light that you are part of. Revered by Brahmanas, he is referring to the tribe, the sect of people who are known as the Brahmanas. The one Brahmana is really the one who tunes into more divine knowledge. Brahmana should be seen by their nakshatras and their astrological chart, not by which family they are born in. Knowledgeable about Brahman. Brahma with Priyaha, the beloved to the knowers of Brahman, those who have realized the nature of Brahman or the ultimate reality. Brihannada Grachitkaro, producing the grand sound of creation. Nada is the primordial sound, the Omkara, the Om. Brahmanda Valimekalaha, adorned with the cosmic egg encircling the universe. Now this comes into the area of how the yuga is. And I have spoken a little bit, I think only one video of this, about the yugas or the time cycles of the shift. There's a video on my channel somewhere, you can look it up. You can look up time cycles of the shift and you'll see that. What is the cosmic egg? What is Brahmanda? Okay. Let me see how we are doing on the time factor. Okay, so we are on 19 minutes and we are on the 100th verse. So I think I'll do 101 and we'll wrap it up for today. Number 101. Brukshapade. Okay, let me get this straight. Brukshe padatta lakshmi ko bhargo bhadro bhayapaha. Bhagavan bhakti sulabho bhutido bhutisha bhuti bhushanaha. Okay. the one who is the possessor of divine qualities associated with goddess Lakshmi. This is why in India you will find Ganapathi, Lakshmi, and Saraswati, the most common threesome, which is there in every house. In every house, they pay their respects, they worship, they pray to all the three at one time. Lakshmi is a goddess of wealth, all kinds of wealth, the Ashtalakshmi, the 8 forms of wealth that we have, including food and drink, by the way, not just money and bitcoins. And then there is Saraswati, the goddess of wealth, goddess of knowledge, music, arts, dance, drama. Even Ganapathi is associated with that, right? So, Bhargo, this word can have multiple interpretations, but it's often associated with radiance or light. Bhargo. Bhadro, the term signifies goodness, auspiciousness. Think of Purva Bhadrapada and Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra. The Bhadrapada is the blessed feet. The term signifies goodness, Bhadra. Bhayapaha. Bhaya is fear. Ha, any Sanskrit mantra you see with ending with ha is the destruction of that whatever is associated. Bhayapaha, the one who is the destroyer of fear itself, the dispeller of anxieties. Bhagavan, Bhaga is fortune. Bhagavan, the one who is embodied in fortune, the one who is divine. Bhakti Sulabho, Bhakti is devotion. The term suggests divine entity is easily accessible. Sulabha means easily accessible, the one who is easily available. It's not difficult. You just have to tune in. He's always available. He's always present. Bhutido Bhuti Bhushanaha. The phrase denotes the giver or the provider of prosperity or well-being. Bhuti Bhushanaha refers to someone who adorns or embellishes with wealth and blessings. So with this we will call it today's session. May you be blessed with all the health, wealth and prosperity wherever you are listening to this. And I hope you tune into Gapapathi Sahasranama. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.